Okay. All right, y'all. What's going on? Running late. Running a little late on this stream, but I ain't gonna be on here too long tonight. I'm actually on the go, so let's see what we got here. Yeah, Marcus said he's late. Yeah. All right. Let's get going here. What we got? Got BJ in the building. BJ want a link tonight. What do we got to talk about, man? All right, got a few people in here, so we can get it going. Just make sure y'all hit the like button. All right. Yeah. So, let's talk, y'all. Just got back on the road, and what's going on up here? Hold on 1 second. Craziness. This road up here. He just said, "Nah, I'm gonna let you do your thing now." Okay. All right. Cool. Oh! He talking trash. He said he don't want to embarrass. Oh boy, listen to this. He gonna embarrass somebody. Oh boy, he throwing little disses, and tonight he ducking. Tonight he ducking the smoke. So yeah, man. But let's talk, y'all. Let's go ahead and talk about Sabina Mazo a little bit. I just did the video talking about that whole situation, but I just want to kind of go in a little bit about the whole thing going on with her. I don't think that she wasn't. I don't think she was like officially cut from everything I was reading, because, like I said, looking on her IG, she basically said that, hey, I didn't perform the way I wanted to. I just got to go back and work, improve as a fighter. That's about all she really said, right? She didn't really say anything like, oh, I want to thank the UFC for giving me an opportunity, or like I'm going off the other things, right? She didn't say anything like that. So I don't know, man. Like, it just comes down to the media just reporting things in a different way sometimes. How they switch up words, and they want to twist it up on you. But in my honest opinion, like I said, if she had got cut, I think that would have been better for her. Yeah, AM said, I don't see a point in keeping Mazo. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. Like, I don't really see a good point in keeping Mazo right now. I think that she's better off. She'd be better off if she went back to like LFA or like Invicta, because she's not really bringing anything to the table. Even Courtney Casey, in my opinion, is still bringing a little something. Antonina Shevchenko, or I'm kind of pushing it with that name, right? Antonina Shevchenko, did she offer more than Mazo? I don't know. Can't really say she offers more, right? They're kind of in that same realm. But it's not like Mazo was ever close to being a top 15 fighter, right? Let's be honest. So, yeah, I don't really see a point in keeping her around, especially at 24. Honestly, she's in the same boat as what is her name? Liana Jojua. Yeah. Kind of in that same boat as Liana Jojua. So there's time for them to grow. I don't mind them being cut. They shouldn't mind being cut. You know, it's time to grow as a fighter. You just said I think Mazo and Antonina should fight. They're on the same level. Yeah, it depends, I guess. Like if Shevchenko was to lose her next fight, win or lose, maybe they should make that fight, right? But yeah, I read the IG post to y'all earlier just to kind of fill y'all in, because the article I read said that we're under the impression that she's getting cut. So I think that's why everybody just kind of thought she was getting cut, right? Because I tried to look everywhere else and find other sources, and I never really found like a solid source saying that we're letting her go. They just kind of threw her name in there with Greg Hardy. Like Greg Hardy, everybody knew he was about to be gone, right? But when it came down to her, they just was like, okay, she's an addition that probably won't be back. And again, they kept throwing in those key words like, probably. So, AM said they used, what is that? Hold on, I can't read. And maybe they joined the UFC way too soon. Yeah, I think so. I think a lot of fighters join the UFC too soon. You know, you got a lot of fighters that join the UFC kind of, you know, premature, right? You know, they throw some of these fighters in fights that they know they don't need to be in. Mismatches. The minute somebody scores a few head kick knockouts, or not even just head kick knockouts, just goes on a streak of beating, you know, average fighters, they want to go ahead and scoop that person up and think they can make money off of them. You know, like Jojua, Mazo, Kasim. You know, I got people going in on me a while back when I said Nadia Kasim was signed too premature. And I was like, oh, okay, you don't believe me? Watch. I was like, y'all thought Nadia Kasim, I was hating on her. I was like, nah, man. I'm like, look at what she offers. And then when that loss came to Jin Kim, they was talking trash. But I was like, yeah, you saw the facts. I was like, y'all see the facts here. But yeah, Lafayette, what's going on? Yeah, really, I think the situation with Mazo is I don't think she was ever cut. You know, I think they just said, okay, we're in the middle of re-signing her contract, but she really needs to be. She just needs to be, because even on the unranked level, let's be real, she doesn't offer much. BJ said Kasim hasn't even fought since getting cut. No, she hasn't. She hasn't fought since then, man. So that tells you a lot. I don't know if she has an injury or what, but she just hasn't fought. BJ said, I asked Chikagan a question on her live tonight. She said, good news coming. She's definitely re-signed. Well, I figured she was, because they haven't taken her out of the rankings. You know, because usually if a fighter's like just gone, you know what I mean? Like they're not signed, they just go ahead and take you out of the rankings, right? I know there's other cases like moving down and up in weight. That's different because you're still under contract with the UFC. But if you're not under contract with the UFC, then you're pretty much going to be gone, right? You know, that or retirement is going to take you out of the rankings for sure. So it's time to go if Caitlin wasn't going to be re-signed. But I figure she's in negotiations to get another contract. And I'm sure if she signs a 4-fight deal or a 3-fight deal, we're going to see Manon versus Caitlin Chikagan if Manon beats Jennifer Maia. I think so, man. What about that? That would be interesting, man. You get Manon fighting Casey O'Neill, not Casey O'Neill, fighting Caitlin Chikagan if she beats Jennifer Maia. I would like that fight too. Oh, AM said, Nadia Kasim says, former pro fighter. Wow, maybe she's done. Maybe she's done with the game. Yeah, maybe she's done with the game, which might be best for her. You know, I didn't really ever see like anything stand out about her. So But let's be real with Sabina Mazo. Like, just from the outside looking in, constructive criticism over here. This ain't a like or dislike thing when I'm discussing her as a fighter. It's just what I see, and I think Sabina Mazo is just too much of a slow starter. I know BJ need glasses when he says Miranda Maverick is a slow starter. I'm like, I just don't see it. But you need to see a real slow starter. You look at Sabina Mazo. And the thing about Sabina Mazo is, let me say this, Sabina Mazo is like a third round fighter. Like, third round fighter, don't confuse that with a 3-round fighter. Like a 3-round fighter, you know what I mean? A fighter that can fight for 3 rounds. And third round fighter, they don't pick it up to the third round, right? So I think Sabina Mazo is more of a third round fighter where she'll kind of fall behind, all the while she's looking for that finish. Next thing you know, it's crunch time and it's time to pick it up, right? BJ, you need a pair of glasses. Like, tell me the fight where Maverick is a slow starter, though. Like, come on, for real. Like, you never called Mazo a slow starter, so I know you ain't looking. Like, tell me the fight where she's like a slow starter, like Sabina Mazo. I'm just saying. Like, come on. I mean, she picked the lead up in the fight she was robbed in. She went to work in this fight. She tried to start fast against Aaron. She just got shut down, right? So being a slow starter and losing the fight doesn't necessarily mean you're a slow starter. You just might not have the tools to beat that fighter, right? Terrible example, BJ. I just gave you the example of how she won 2 rounds. She easily won 2 rounds. Macy did nothing in the first round. Did you not hear Uriah Faber saying, Macy, do something? Macy, do something. Come on, man. I know I ain't the only one heard that Uriah Faber screaming in that corner saying, yo, Macy, you got to show us something. Because Maverick was working. Okay, maybe the striking is not the best, but I'm just saying, like, she's letting hands go here. She's working. But Mazo, like, going back to Mazo now, Sabina, she'll sit back, man. Like, she let Justine Keesh outwork her for 2 rounds almost, right? Think about Justine Keesh. She got tired. She got a little winded. Justine Keesh got a little winded in that, I'd say, like, the part of the second round. And, that's where Mazo started to come back on strong. So Mazo, that's her downfall. And if you have a problem with picking up your work rate in the UFC, I mean, every fighter you fight is going to be giving you trouble. Every fighter you fight is going to give you trouble. And that's why going into this fight, I said, man, I can't say whenever Mazo, fought Maverick, I couldn't say the height and the reach is an advantage. I'm not calling it that anymore. I told y'all that. I can't call it that anymore because if you don't know how to use it, it's not an advantage, right? It's not an advantage. It is not an advantage. So, no, I can't say just because you're tall and long that you're going to win a fight or you're going to capitalize. Like, look at Luanna Carolina. We got Luanna Carolina fighting this weekend, but how confident are you that Luanna Carolina this weekend is going to be keeping Molly McCann on the outside this whole fight? Do you think she will? No, because some of these fighters that are long, they don't know how to use their range, man. They get bullied too much. And Mazo is kind of like that. She follows too much. She comes forward. Not enough defense. So there's no problem, man. There's no problem with being cut. There's no problem with it. I think it means nothing but the best for her if she was. But if she's not, I mean, Who can she fight now? Like, who's gonna make Mazo look good at this point? Who's gonna make Sabina Mazo look good at this point? I mean, you think Antonina, yeah, but she's got a fight coming up, and everybody knows even if she beats Antonina, that's not really saying a great deal. So there's that name. I mean, Poliana Bateo, these lower rung fighters, but we all know better, right? We know better than that. So yeah, that's Shannon Dobson. Oh, she already beat Shannon Dobson. She already got that win. Shannon Dobson. You mean like previous fights? Yeah, previous fights. Yeah, like Shannon Dobson to make you look like a world beater. But I'm talking about now. Like, who's a name now that is with the UFC that'll make her look good? I don't know. Can't think of a name. There are none. There are no names for her right now. I'm just kind of looking at a roster list here, y'all. Hold on. Nope, I can't name anybody. Yeah, Ulysses said Mandy Bohm. Okay, yeah, you can go back and do that fight, right? You can go back and do that. Not bad. That's not bad. But after that, it's still slim pickings for her. She's still a target. Shannon Dobson got cut twice from the UFC. For real? She got cut twice? Hang on one second. All right, Gina Mazzani. That's a name. Okay, Gina Mazzani. All right. Um, yeah, there's Gina Mazzani. I always forget, man. I keep thinking of her as a bantamweight still. You got Mazo versus Priscilla. Cachoeira. Yeah. Bohm would beat Mazo. Yeah, I think so too. Like, you asked me, like, yeah, she won, it would make her look good, but I would go with Bohm in that fight. Yeah, Gina Mazzani would make it look good. Robot Chicken said if Mazo is already re-signed, UFC don't really give a darn about Chikagan. No, I think Chikagan is going to get it, though, man. And like I said, I don't think Mazo was ever cut. Like, I think everybody just kind of went off the Instagram post, right? Everybody saw the Instagram post and thought, oh, she's done. I mean, let me ask Marcus. Marcus, did you see anything outside of, like, other news, like, besides news media? Like, did you see anything like made like an official statement from the UFC that she was cut? Because I couldn't find anything. Like I said, that article, they were basing it off her IG. You know? Okay, yeah. Yeah, well, the Twitter big dog was probably basing it off the article I read. Like, I'll give y'all the link to it later. Because I looked, as I was doing a video, I pulled it up, and just 4 hours ago, it said that she was cut because we were under the impression off of her Instagram. But see, I saw official. Hang on one second. Okay. A lot of fake news on IG. No, not fake news on IG. I'm talking about Sabina Mazo fake news on websites. Because Sabina Mazo put up real news, not IG. You mean Twitter. So Sabina Mazo said, thank you. No, she didn't even say thank you. She just said, hey, I didn't win the fight. I'm going to go back to training. I'm going to go back to improving. She didn't say anything about losing. So the real news was on IG. The fake news was elsewhere. That was my point. Gas is not a joke, man. What are they trying to do with this gas now, y'all? Gas is crazy. Gas is going to be a car payment in a few more years out. You know, the way this world is going, it's going to be like paying for a car payment every week. That's how bad gas looks now. It's going to be another car payment out here for y'all. Well, for all of us. Man, it's a trip. So yeah, let's move on though. Mazzani, we got, okay, Manny Bohm, Mazzani. We got some names out there that she could get some work in on because she ain't going anywhere. All right, let's talk about Rose and Carla a little bit. How happy are you guys? How ecstatic are you guys for this fight? I mean, I'm ready, man. Rose, Carla, the long overdue rematch. Well, not even like long overdue, like we were waiting 2 years, but yeah, we're just spoiled over here. That's what it is. Man, Rose is like the only fighter that's been doing reruns lately, right? Like, you know, since 2017, she's just been fighting the same people. Which that's not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying it's like nobody else has really been able to capture a title shot except Luanna, Wei Lee, and Jessica Andrade. This is a different look. Even though Carla and Rose have been here before, this is a different look for Rose. It really is a different look because it's been 7 years, right? I mean, everybody else she was fighting back to back to back, she had already fought, you know? So this is the first time where, in a long time, where she's going to get a different type of fight. Now, how this fight is going to go, don't look, y'all. This fight is going to be good. This fight is going to be competitive. It could be close. Now, if it's a close fight and y'all are shocked, that means you really don't know. I mean, of course, everybody is going to think that there's a head kick in line. Like, everybody's thinking counterpunchability of Rose is going to knock out Carla, right? Everybody's seen what she did to Joanna, what she did to Wei Lee in their first fight. Well, did she stop Joanna and did she stop Wei Lee in their second fights? No, she didn't. I mean, what makes a lot of people so confident that she can knock out Carla Esparza this time around? You know? That's what I need to know. I don't see it like that. I can see her beating Carla, yeah. But I see her really in for a fight also. See, I think the one thing people are really shocked about is the obvious changes that we've seen in Rose from 2014 till now. Like that and the fact that people are really just infatuated with Rose, that they're blinded by, you know, their bias towards her, you know, bias. You know, so they're going to automatically say, oh, Rose is the best fighter in this, and she's going to knock her out because they can obviously see the changes. But they don't know, like, Carla's improved as a fighter. You're just not a fan of the style. You think it's boring, you think it's ugly, but sometimes boring and ugly wins you a fight, right? Boring and ugly can get you a lot. And Carla Esparza, you know, the Carla I seen from 2014 till now, it's just them subtle changes that she's been making to her style. The subtle changes that she's been making to her style that could be even more of a block of kryptonite for Rose Namajunas. Like, believe me, Carla knows what she did before, but Carla's been watching for 7 years on what can really break Rose. Come on, right? What do you think? Do you think Carla's just been sitting back, living off of that one knockout win or TKO win, and she hasn't been studying Rose all this time? She probably been studying Rose and thinking like, oh yeah, like I know what I can do. She's seen what Andrade could do. So of course she's not Andrade, but she's looking and she's thinking, oh yeah, I could, I've done this before, so I can maybe take a page out of Andrade's book. Yeah, she's not as powerful or as strong, but Carla is somewhat strong. She does have some physical strength to her. So you got to look at those little things, man. Like Rose looks her best when fighters give her a chance and give her breathing room. Rose looks her best whenever you kind of give her space and you play chess with her. She's a very good chess player. Rose is one of the better chess players at strawweight. She's not a phone booth fighter. Suarez and Andrade, they like to get in the phone booth. Zhang Wei Li, they like to get in that phone booth every now and then. Luanna, she'll like to get in that phone booth. She like to strike in the outside too, but she can dog with you. But Carla would dog with you, unless you're too big like Suarez. But I think that she knows what the task presents to her. Carla's, everybody been sleeping on her throughout the years. They just see 2-time Rose champion and they think, oh wow, she knocked Luanna out. But styles make fights, y'all. Styles make fights. Styles really do make fights. But if you look at Rose, she definitely has made some very impressive changes to her game. Me being a stand-up fan, I do appreciate good footwork in the game, and she has that. Like Rose has very tricky footwork for your average UFC strawweight. Nobody really does it like her when it comes to the footwork. Next to even Joanna doesn't have the same type of footwork that she has. You see how it tricked her, but most of your elite fighters in this division don't have that type of strength. That's a big part of Rose's game plan is her footwork, right? Hang on one second. No audio issue, Ulysses. I'm back. Just taking care of some stuff while I'm on the grind here. Okay. All right. Hold on. Ulysses said Whaley took her down. What people may think, what makes people think that Carla won't? I don't know, man. A lot of people think Carla Esparza is like this tiny little wrestler that is predictable. But believe me, man, this is a 5 round fight. She gonna get down, man. Believe me, she gonna get taken down in this fight. Hang on, you. BJ, what'd you say? I can see Carla throwing big punches to close the distance. Yeah, she gonna have to. Yeah, she gonna have to do that. Carla has 42 takedowns in all the UFC, double what anyone else has in any other divisions. Exactly. I mean, I'm going to be bringing up more of these facts too as as we watch some fights and as I break some more things down. That's why I think this fight going to be very, very, very competitive. It's going to be even more competitive, I think, than Wei Lee's rematch. Honestly, you know, like I said, you got to think of the mental part too, man. You got to think of the mental part. You know, hang on here. All right, Zaman, what you talking? I can't see. Hold on, what does it say? Zaman said Carla isn't high pressure, grinding wrestler though. She is all about timing. That's why sometimes she has fights like with Waterson or Marcos. Yeah, no, she's not like Tatiana Suarez at all. But still, her ability to press is there, and when she's on the ground, that's where her pressure comes in. Like, you know, her takedowns are good. Her takedown ability is very good. When she gets you down, her pressure's there. You know, Carla's really gonna have to work on some body work. You really got to work on the body with Carla. I mean, with Rose. But yeah, like I was saying earlier, going back to what I was saying, Rose, yeah, she has made some nice improvements as far as her footwork and everything. Her ability to pick her shots and doing that for 5 rounds. That's going to be important. She got to be she's got to be on her game because Rose knows that, well, Carla knows that her best game plan is to be in her chest and in on the inside every minute. So everybody kind of goes in here knowing that Rose is not like the same physically strong fighter like Andrade and Joanna. Like, to me, the physically strongest in the division, you know, are like Wei Lee, Joanna, and Andrade. And if you fight their type of fight on the inside, they usually win. But Rose really beat those fighters not with like physical strength. She was able to beat them with her IQ. Her fundamentals of her boxing and her kickboxing. I think Carla's going to have to meet her halfway here a little bit. She's going to have to use her IQ uh, of getting on the inside, fighting a smart paced fight, of making sure that she controls rounds, that she lands more strikes. Yeah, she's gonna have to land more strikes. I know Rose is a striker, but when Rose is just picking her shots, Carla's got to land more on the inside and steal rounds with takedowns and just control rounds with takedowns. AM said Rose is for sure way stronger though since then. Yeah, of course she's stronger than 2014, but is she as strong as Joanna though? That's what I'm comparing it to. Like in no way am I saying she's not as strong. Everybody gets stronger the older they get in this game. You know, she was a baby back then when it came to her physical strength, but her strength still doesn't match it up to like the fighters like Joanna and Andrade. You know what I mean? She definitely got stronger, but still, she's not as strong as them. Like when you think strength, fighters that have physical strength, I think of those in the division, like the Suarez is, you know, the way he leads. But yeah, she's got stronger though. She got stronger, but that's not really her big uh, attribute that wins her fights, in my opinion. You know, yeah, yeah. Um, Bluebird said Rose's physical strength is underestimated. No, I don't. I don't think it's underestimated. Like I don't underestimate it. Um, but I know it's. I just know it's something that she doesn't really depend on as much. I know it has gotten better, but there's certain fighters that you just know off top that you don't want to be in a clinch with them. You know. MMA Art said, I think Rose will dominate every aspect. Okay. I don't know. We'll see. We're talking about. Hang on. See, Brian Williams said, when did Joanna overpower Rose? I don't know. When did she? Who said she overpowered Rose? Yeah, I don't know who. Yeah, yeah. Who said that? Yeah. I never said she overpowered. I'm talking about like her physical strength versus Rose's physical strength, like in just fights. I never use that as an example. So no, like she never did because she never got going in there. And like I just went back to saying, Rose defeated Joanna with her IQ. You know, she defeated her by fighting her at a range, so Joanna could never overpower her. I mean, if you want to look at the second fight, I mean, she was starting to come on strong. Joanna did land some pretty strong shots in there. You know what I mean? Like she did show her strength on how she could hang in a fight. But yeah, I never said she did overpower her. Do you still think a 5 round fight favors Carla? Yeah, I think a 5 round fight favors Carla, in my opinion. I mean, when have we really seen like Rose been in some 5 round fights as far as fights that have to be 5 rounds, but you know you've seen like when certain type of styles push her and press her, it's better off being a 3 round fight for her, right? So I think that 5 round fight would definitely favor Carla. I think Carla has the cardio for 5 rounds too. Just the type of wrestler that she is. I think she can win. Robot Chicken said, "I know it's different fights. I still like Carla's win over Yon. Tells me she's hungry." Yeah, yeah. When she went in there and got the job done, that told me something. When Brian said, "My point is, how do we know she's so much physically stronger than Rose?" Well, let's see. I don't really think you have to say or compare. Well, let's say you don't really have to say they have to be in the octagon to do that to be able to say one is stronger than the other. I mean, Joanna handled Andrade's strength better than Rose. So what does that tell you? Right? Because we could say Rose is a more of an accurate puncher. She's more of an accurate, harder puncher than Joanna, even without putting her in the octagon with Joanna, right? Because she's able to tag like Wei Lee or Jessica Andrade with some accurate shots and really do some damage, right? So they don't necessarily have to share the octagon to say one is stronger than the other. Like you can base Joanna's performances like with Valentina or Andrade and how she can handle physical strength versus how Rose chooses to fight because she doesn't possess the same type of physical strength, if that makes sense. You know, so they don't have to be in the octagon at the same time. Like Joanna probably is physically stronger than Rose, but you won't really ever get to know because she's smarter at keeping her at bay. But I think in the clinch, as far as like Muay Thai fighting, that's her bread and butter. You know, that inside fighting and pushing and pressing, she's hell of a lot more durable. She's shown that already in that aspect. But I mean, accurate puncher, I can say Rose is that all day. She's more the accurate puncher. Even if I'm not, you know, talking about if they're in the same octagon, you know, I mean, resumes and how they get wins is how I'm looking at it. Oh, here we go. What is the thing that Rose in 5-round fights? She's underrated in that area. I don't think it's that she's underrated in that area. I think it's the type of styles that she faces in these fights. Like, yeah, you're going to say she's a 5-round fight against Wei Lee or Joanna because, again, she's fighting a thinking fight with these fighters, right? They're not pressing her for 5 rounds, right? That's what I'm getting at. Like, when it comes down to style, like, she'll look like a 5-round fighter if you're giving her that space, you know? But my thing is, can you handle 5 rounds with somebody that wants to push the action on you? Press the action on you for 5 rounds. That's my point. I would say Joanna doesn't impose her strength. Her strength and agility are displayed defensively. She completely shut down Shev's grappling starting in round 3. Yeah, she never really no, she doesn't impose it. Like, it's not like Andrade. No, like Joanna's strength is there, you know, whenever you get on her, you know what I mean? Like, it's in her takedown defense, you know, it's even in the clinches. Like, when you try to press her, you know, she'll reverse that. She'll get the underhooks and push you to separate, but it's there. AM said, can you imagine that dome Jean gave JJ on Rose's head and her still coming forward? No. And that's another example of her physical strength. I mean, like, Joanna can take a beating and still come on strong, man. Like, I think that's a good example of physical strength. I mean, the strength that your body possesses as the rounds get deeper and deeper and you can still fight. I mean, she was rubbing that head like a mug, and I was like, you know, she was rubbing that head and like she still kept coming strong. And a lot of people's eyes, Joanna still won the fight. So that's another form of, you know, physical strength on why, when it comes down to just like physical strength, you could argue she is stronger than Rose in that factor. I mean, people get the championship belts in different ways. So to say Joanna is stronger than Rose is not wrong. You know what I mean? To say Joanna is stronger is not wrong. Rose is just a smarter fighter when it comes down to her striking. Oh yeah, yeah. You know, Bluebird. You say you agree to disagree. Hey, the feeling's mutual. You know, the feeling's mutual. Like I said, I'm, you know, giving you my points. You know, I'm on here talking, and you know, I, you know, can say what I say goes for me, and I know what you say goes for you. But you know, I get on here because I feel 100% confident in what I say based off of the facts I've seen. So you know, it's all good. It's all good. I just don't think that she's a 5-round fighter against somebody that's going to, put the dog on her. See, some of these girls that have dog in her, they choose to play chess instead of be the dog for 5 rounds. Like, y'all know if Zhang Weili had put the dog on Rose in like rounds 3, 4, and 5, she probably would have won that fight for sure. But no, she got taken down in that 5th round, and it was like just Rose, stealing that round with her wrestling. So, but I think Carla, like I said, I think Carla definitely has a lot to show in this fight, and I think we'll see it. She's going to respect Rose. I believe that. I think the feeling is going to be mutual. They will respect each other going into this fight, and you'll see some boring rounds. I know that. You're going to see some boring rounds. Believe me. You're going to see like the first couple rounds get boring, and then all of a sudden, somebody's going to either get clipped or somebody's going to get taken down. But I've been waiting for this, man, because yeah, like the past 5 years, we just been seeing repeat after repeat with the championship belt. It's just, Rose, Joanna, Rose, Andrade, Weili. I'm about ready to see some new fighters in there too. I mean, these are good fighters, but I'm ready to see somebody new. Like when Carla fight, I'm ready to see Marina get it. Andrade has been a minute, so yeah, I'm ready to see her get back in there. I mean, it's not really a bad fight. I just need to see some mix up here. AM said, Joanna looks like a very annoying person to fight because of her strength. She never quits. Yeah. Like, people wonder, like you say, people underestimate Rose's strength. I think people are starting to underestimate Joanna's strength just because of what happened with her chin when she got knocked out or knocked down, stopped. But, Joanna still possesses that strength. And like, it does look annoying to watch. Like, it probably is annoying for her opponent because, they're like trying to force her down and take her down, but she's just like so tough to get down to the ground, right? And she hits hard enough just to make you feel it, but not knock you out. Like, those are some, very dangerous type of strikers. But I don't know, man. We'll see, man. We'll see how Carla can do. We're gonna see if Carla can go in here and do better in her rematch than Zhang Weili. We'll see if Carla can become a 2-time champion. I'll tell you one thing, man. The way the talent is in this division, I really don't see anybody going on like a long title reign. Like, I really don't see anybody getting 3 title defenses in a row. Like, if Rose gets this will be what, her 2nd title defense, because she'll have beat Zhang Weili for the belt, defended against Zhang Weili, defended against Carla. If she fights Marina next, she could. So it's possible she could get 3 title defenses. So it's possible. But if you look at it like Carla getting the belt, oh my goodness, Joanna going to be screaming for that title shot. And so is Andrade. And sadly, I don't see Carla defeating either of them. But no, she'll probably still get Marina. Yeah, Marina's still next in line. So Carla would fight Marina. Might still wind up losing that fight, right? But that's like the most winnable one. Like Joanna, Andrade, Marina. Carla's probably most winnable fight would be Marina again because she's already beat her once, right? But I mean, if you look at the lay of the land right now, I wonder who Marina will fight. I don't know, man. Like, she might just be on like bench time right now, right? Is she allowed to sit out now? What do y'all think? Yeah, that's the question. Is it cool if Marina sits out now? Like, yes or no? Is she allowed to sit out? Make sure y'all hit the like button too. Is it all right? Is it all right for Marina to sit out because she done fought 4 in a row? She's 4-0, or does she have to fight? Does she have to fight, or can she just sit down and wait for the results of the championship fight in May? Because let's say the fight's in May, the next title fight at strawweight should probably be in what, like September, October, like 4 or 5 months out. So she just fought beginning of March, and that would give her, let me see. Like, let's say September, August or September, something like that, 4 or 5 months. That would give her like 5 or 6 months to prepare for a title fight. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I thought Carla deserved to sit out. Like, Dana needed to chill on that. Like, Carla didn't have to fight no more. I mean, 5 fights. Marina's won 4. Yeah, let's sit out. And I asked that because you know how Dana be. I mean, the logical thing is, yeah, we sit out because that's you fought was basically what was basically like not even an official title eliminator. It was just a fight that needed to be, fulfilled, like in part of your contract. But it really wasn't like a title eliminator because John Jonan was coming off a loss to Carla, right? It was just like you needed a fight, and so you made it happen. But other than that, I mean, you've been pretty much the most logical name to face next, so that makes sense. Gordon says, suppose it's a close decision. Did Carla get a rematch clause? Do you think Dana would give Carla a rematch if she loses a close one? I don't. Yeah, if Carla was to lose a close fight, nah, she ain't getting a rematch. Wait a minute, hold on. 1-1? If they go 1-1, she might. It might not be immediate, but she'll probably be able to get one. If it's a close fight, she might. I was thinking the other way around because I forgot it would be tied up. Yeah, if Carla lost, they could play a rematch because they would be even. But I think Andrade would get her rubber match before Carla, honestly. Gabrielle said her performance was not the best against Jan. It wasn't. No, it wasn't the best. Y'all know how I feel. I thought Jan won the fight, but hey, oh well. Stamina said, I think Marina will sit out because of nothing else. There's nothing obvious that the company will offer her. She should be okay to stay home and sharpen up. Yeah, pretty much. Yep. If the fight was entertaining, I could see it. Yeah. I think a rematch is, it's in the books. It'll be in the books at some point. Jama said UFC would choose Andrade, Lemos winner 100%. She has to fight the winner of that fight. Yeah, I said that yesterday. I said that yesterday, Jama, and I said Carla. If Carla loses, Carla gonna wind up fighting the winner of Lemos Andrade, because Andrade is gonna be like, "Yo, let me get the third fight." She gonna be like, "Let me get a third fight, and if I gotta stomp out Carla to get it, I'm gonna do that." I think we'll know what happens there. Ulysses said Rose is the queen of the rematches. Yeah. That's the one rematch I thought she lost though. She won all them other rematches. I don't know. I think I can argue that Tisha won more than Zhang Wei Li now. But I mean, on paper, she's the queen of the rematches, right? You got Luanna, Andrade, Wei Li, and Tisha Torres, right? Oh, you think Marina's gonna fight the winner of Andrade Lemos? No way, man. I don't think that needs to happen. That's who you talking about? Marina fighting? You think Marina needs to fight? Or she's gonna wind up fighting the Andrade Lemos winner? No way, man. somebody brought up a good point the other day. Like, I can't remember his name, but he did bring up something that I was thinking about. Because I was like, Andrade Lemos is such a weird matchup. And I was kind of thinking the same thing. I was like, it's kind of like a exhibition match. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't really have the same flair like a title eliminator. Andrade versus Lemos, because it's just weird, because it's like, Lemos is number 10 and Andrade is, still ranked as a flyweight. It does seem kind of weird, man. It seems kind of like an exhibition match, really. Like, it was not a fight we were calling for. Yeah, granted, it's a good fight, and it's got a lot of thunder to it. It's got a lot of thunder to this fight, but it really doesn't have, like, oh man, like, it's time for these two to fight. It's not screaming that type of matchup, right? Yeah. BJ said Marina versus Andrade. Nah, not now. I mean, I would like it, but not now. Maybe after Marina touches gold somewhere, man. But I don't want to see. I don't want to see Marina blow them chances yet. Because, man, there's always that possibility. I know Marina might get a knockout, but Marina might get slammed through the ground too. Andrade put these girls under the mat if she can. Believe me, you're a special fighter if you make it out of Andrade's fight. If you make it out of an Andrade fight standing, like, shout out to Angela Hill. Angela Hill did pretty. Angela Hill didn't win that fight, but she did. She avoided getting, like, slammed through the mat. Same with Tisha Torrens. Poor Rose, though, man. Dang, I felt bad for her in that first fight, man. I was picking her in that first fight when she got slammed like that, man, like a pretzel. Dang. Yeah. Yeah, don't get me wrong. Now, I like Lemos Andrade. I like that fight. I like it. All right, y'all. Let me read some comments here before I get up off of here. Let's see. Marina said, "Let's go, Carla. Good evening. Good evening. About to bounce here in a minute." Well, I mean, I got a few minutes now. I'm done doing what I had to do. Zama said UFC won't give Marina a title shot after that Yawn fight. No way. She'll get it. We know Andrade Lemos will go violently, and UFC with title shot. Where, now that you bring up violence, man, now you got me thinking. Just because of Dana White's way of thinking, nah, that ain't fair. Nah, that ain't right. No, because Carla didn't look necessarily the best on her 5-fight winning streak. Granted, she closed it out nicely with a Yan Xiaonan stoppage, but I don't think they'll do that to Marina, man. Like, that's why they gave it a decision, in my opinion. Andrade been working on the ground game lately. Yeah, been working on the boxing too. Gordon said, just for fun, how about a prediction as to whether the commentary will be biased in favor of Rose? Can Bisping and Rogan be fair to Carla? I wouldn't put any money on that. Gabriella said, do you think Andrade deserves to be in the Hall of Fame? Yes. I think she does. By 30 years old, she's got the most fights in the UFC, right? Out of WMMA fighters. Pound for pound, has great names on her resume, win or lose. Held the title, could possibly still get the title. I think Andrade deserves to be in the Hall of Fame at some point. Yeah, I think for sure. Yeah, Andrade deserves to be in that Hall of Fame because, I mean, when you look at her resume from 135, 115 to 125, it's impressive. Yeah, I would definitely put her a spot. I would definitely give Andrade a spot there. you know, I was never really like the biggest fan in the beginning because I'm more of like a technical fighter, and I like I like the technical side of it. And every time she was slamming these people, I would just get annoyed because she was just one dimensional. But the more and more I just learned to kind of grow and love the sport and like her punching power as well, I was like, yo, I'm starting to like her. I'm starting to like her. Especially when she did the JoJo back in the day, I was like, dang, man. But over a while, like I can't even say it's an acquired taste. I mean, everybody's to love what Andrade brings to the table. She's like one you hate to love because she beating your favorite fighter. That's what Andrade is. I mean, honestly though, style wise, I favor Joanna's style though. Overall, even though y'all call her decision queen, I favor Joanna's style when it comes down to fighting. Marcus said, "Yeah, Andrade is a shapeshifter from being able to fight in three different weight classes. Yeah, she's a little werewolf, man. She's a shapeshifter. That girl is, she'll go from a jackal to a werewolf, to a straight up, beast in there of all kinds. Nobody's safe. Even at 145, nobody would be safe. I don't think. I mean, that would probably be where you see her downfall. But no, like even 145, people wouldn't be safe. Zama said Andrade is the first candidate of the Hall of Fame just after longtime champions. Yeah, yeah. I mean, great names, great fights. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, y'all, Carla's got a good chance to win this fight. Of course, Rose definitely does. I think, Rose definitely did enough over the past few years to make this a 50-50 situation, right? It's definitely a 50-50 situation now. Of course, back in the day, I did pick Carla to win because, I've been watching Invicta that long and I knew where they were coming from. Like, we go all the way back to 2014, man, when I was watching this show, The Tough House, and I just seen like all the Invicta girls. I never seen like honestly, I never saw Rose just taking everything, like taking the belt. Like all of the promising fighters were Carla, JoJo, and Tisha had promised. But then JoJo, man, when Rose put her in that Kimura in that fight, I was like, oh man, JoJo, what are you doing? JoJo had dropped Rose in that fight too. I remember she dropped it with like a punch or a kick. She put Rose down on the seat of her pants or on the seat of her shorts. But man, when I saw Rose submit JoJo with that Kimura in that fight, I was heartbroken, man. I was like, dang, JoJo. I was like, you supposed to be the one to take it all. It was supposed to be Carla and JoJo in the end. And honestly, Styles making fights, I think JoJo probably would have beat Carla Esparza at that time, just because of Styles, you know. And Tisha, she just kind of got hey, hold on one second here. All right, what are y'all talking about? Hold on. Mark Robinson, what's up? He said, I give Carla tons of respect for turning the corner after that tough loss to Tatiana. Fight her way back. Yeah, she did, man. She did fight her way back. Zama said her takedown defense and her grappling was, but her takedown defense was actually better to me because of the level of competition. Like back then, she was able to kind of handle different fighters, but I think it just kind of got separated even after that Marina Moreau fight. But I thought she was always pretty decent. But yeah, her ground game was, non-existent. But I thought she would have taken it at the time because of the style matchup. Like to me, back then, I didn't think Carla would ever really got her down to the ground just because of the styles. Like she would have been able to kind of separate and keep better range against Carla, if that makes sense. Like I don't think Carla would have been able to get her down because I think not Rose, but JoJo was stronger than her back then, like physically and bigger. Yeah, when it just came down to styles, like, yeah, going back in the tough house, I just thought everybody thought JoJo, Carla, and Tisha were like the most promising ones. But as the show progressed, they started pushing Rose as the next Ronda Rousey. And I was like, oh, what are y'all doing? You know what I mean? Rose is beating everybody. She submitted JoJo, Randa Marcos. Who else did she beat? What is her name? Emily Kagan or whatever? Or was it Justine Quiche? Anyways, she went on a nice little win streak, and everybody was like, okay, Rose is gonna be the next Ronda Rousey. And I was like, no, that's not happening. She's not that dominant. She's not that developed to be that. And of course, when the fight came down to it, the finale, everybody was like, Rose is gonna take this. She's the next Ronda Rousey. She's gonna obliterate Carla. And I was like, all right, y'all gonna see Carla gonna go in there and finish this girl. And what happened? Carla went in there, wore her down. Rose landed some nice shots in that fight a couple of times, but Carla was built for, that pace of fighting 3 rounds at the time. So the competition level was too high. Carla went in there and dusted her out, man. Finished her. And then them hopes of having the next Ronda Rousey, they were done. So yeah, it was that was a good season. That was probably like my favorite season. Robert Harris says, yeah, man, because she has a lot of good things about her, but she just didn't have the right push. Like JoJo, honestly, like when she coming back from the Muay Thai background, she could have been another Joanna in there, or possibly even like Valentina, with the way she delivers her punches, and if she could transition Muay Thai to MMA striking, like she could have been that. She hits hard, she had pressure. If she would have stuck to becoming more of a defensive fighter, she could have did that. She was just so offensive, man, and kept getting hit with big punches. Of course, them days are past now, but yeah, you look at her back in like 2012, like when I was watching some of her Muay Thai fights, she went like 42-1 at a time, I think. Something like that. I would have put her in that category with Joanna and Shevchenko back then. If she had the right development, that is. Like I said, that's back then now. Yeah. Gordon said, do you think Trevor will bring in an inappropriate grappler to spar with Rose in preparation for Carla? Probably. Probably.
Yeah, I think he definitely will. You're gonna have to bring in, somebody that's going to be able to mimic what Carla can do. Robert said Rose needs to hurt Carla to the body, but without getting taken down a bunch. Rose tends to be a bit of a headhunter too much at times. Yeah, I can see that. Ooh, who would be appropriate to bring in to kind of mimic Carla? Let me see. If they got some flyweights in there, let me see. Who would be a good fighter to try to help mimic what Carla can do? She works with Tisha a lot. Tisha could help mimic. Like, Tisha Torres could help kind of mimic that style. Tisha's very physically strong. Tisha's been in and out of camp with Rose. Um, Aldridge is not bad. You ain't gonna get somebody to be that person, but I think the people that she has in her camp, fighters like JJ Aldridge, are there. They present size and they present wrestling, so those are good people. So I say Aldridge and Tisha Torres, Gordon. Yeah, Ulysses said Aldridge since she's her friend. Yeah, Aldridge is a good name to me. Um, that that I know off top that wouldn't mind sharing an octagon with her, in in case they might wind up fighting one day. Who else? Yeah, Marcus. I seen her, Dakota Chiva. I might. I gotta go back and watch some more of her fights too, man, tonight. Cause I'm still watching Sabova. I'm still watching Sabova's fight, so I'm gonna line her up for this weekend. No, Robert, I'm full now, man. I just ate. That's why I got on late. I ate first. I got my food out the way today, boy. I got that in, and I said I'm gonna jump on here late. That's why I was taking forever to get on here too. So I'm good now. You might see me on here till one. Psych. Nah. Yeah, Running Reese said, I'm glad Carla shut that down. Yeah, back then they were trying to push Rose like Ronda Rousey, man, and I was like, man, just let Rose do it, do her, let her be herself. Like, y'all do that, y'all gonna get embarrassed. Chicken said, I'm gonna eat liver and onions. No, man, I'll stay away from that. I'll eat the onions, but I ain't gonna eat the liver. hmm Had a 20 out state. Jamin said, "Why?" Oh yeah. I'm looking at her. She is an unpolished diamond, Jamin. I agree with that. She is. She. I'd say she just needs to. What do you think she needs to clean up on, Jamin? I think she needs to clean up on her defense. Like she don't mind getting in there. Like I don't know if her hands. I think her hands maybe her defense, but she's strong, man. Blada is strong. Yeah, Teresa Blada is another one. Yeah, I was looking at her like during the Christmas holiday. I was watching her during the Christmas holiday, and I was like, I like this girl. I was looking at her amateur fights, and I like her ability to get takedowns. She's quick. Yeah, Teresa Blader. Yeah, the more and more she works, she's gonna be a physical specimen. So watch out for her at 135. But man, Ekaterina is a beast, man. That is a high paced wrestler right there. Her and Andrade in a fight would be crazy. Gordon said, who should call a spar for Rose's striking? Ooh, for her striking. JJ again. No. That's, you said who should Carla spar. Sorry. Carla should spar. Oh, man. Hold on. Carla and Brittany Cloudy. You know, you see me interview her, right? Yeah, Gordon, I think Brittany Cloudy's a good one. She's tall, she's long, she's a good striker. You know, she's still up and comer. You know, of course, she's not at the UFC level, but I think she could mimic some things that Rose does. You know, she's big, she's tall, long. Brittany Cloudy's in her training camp. She's a good one. Who are some other strikers like fighters? Because you know a lot of these fighters they work with some of the LFAs in the underground. So who else can bring something? Because they don't really work with a lot of the same world levels sometimes, like Carla don't. Oh, okay. I'm kind of just going by who's in their training camp, you know what I mean? But she's going to need somebody that's going to help her with range. So I think that's a good name. Marcus said Teresa needs to work on her hands. Yeah, that's what it is. Her hands. Azama says she's giant for flyweight, tall, long reach, super athletic. You mean Blada? I kind of see her at 135. And since you say she's giant, I think she'd be good at bantamweight. Stamina said Ben Askren got Macy beaten up. He can't be trusted. Dang. Yeah. You won't hear me mention that name. Brian said, I don't know Tisha's on the title run. They still been working together, though. You know, they've been working together for a minute now. You know, Tisha and Rose. Yeah, I know she on the title run, but, you know, they have been working. I think Rose will probably be the one to want to separate that, but they still been getting it in. Maybe not as much as recent, but they have. James G said, is Rose stronger than Jan? Is she stronger than Jan? Yeah. Yeah, I'll say that. Yeah. Rose is stronger than Jan. Yeah, Rose is stronger than Jan. Because I really don't think Rose will fall for the easy takedowns either from Carla. Like the way Carla was able to body Jan Janan in that fight, I don't think that Rose will fall for that the same way. Rose will be able to stay on her feet if it's coming that way. You know, yeah, I think that Rose is much stronger than Jan Janan. You know, it's kind of been proven with her. Gordon said, do you think judo is useful against Carla? Let's see. Do you think that judo would be useful? It depends as long as you ain't gonna really like. It depends on what you're gonna do with it. Like I wouldn't say I think it's useful, but I wouldn't say like if you're gonna try to go down to the ground with like I think it's good to like use it to throw her off of you. Like if you want to get off the cage. Like if Carla starts to push you to the cage, if you could get like a position where you could, you know, get her and get that whizzer on her, and if you could turn her and you could get that momentum going, maybe just sort of like good separation. You know, I think it could be effective on her. But I wouldn't spend too much time on the ground with her. I think it's good for separation to me, especially if you're dealing with somebody that's looking to take you to the ground. If you do part of the job for them, they'll sacrifice that being taken down to where they could try to reverse it on you. I think Carla's been fighting well off of her. I think she's been fighting better off her back in a while. Mark said Carla gave Marina, Jan, Calvillo, and Verna their first loss. What we have here is an example of a gatekeeper prospect killer being rewarded for their efforts. She was getting all the smoke. Yeah. Handed Rose her first loss too, right? Was it her? No. Tisha handed her first loss, right? Yeah, Tisha handed Rose her first loss. I forget. Sometimes Tom said, but I question Blader's mental game and fight IQ. I question anyone who calls her Rhonda. Yeah. Oh, she calls herself Rhonda? Uh-oh. Yeah, I haven't seen enough of her fight IQ yet to really put her that level, but I've seen, her grittiness. Her grittiness is, there, and her ability to get takedowns is there. But yeah, her hands needs to be worked on. She could get there. James said putting Carla on her back is the best route. Yeah, but I wouldn't spend too much time in a top position with her. I gotta go back and look at that Verna fight. Like, how did Verna Jandaroba get Carla on her back a lot in that fight? I can't remember. A slight of mine said Carla with pressure thug, constantly with the takedown. I don't think Carla can stand with her at all. She's gonna try and put her back to the cage and grapple, and then try to keep the fight on the ground. Carla will try to wrestle her. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, James. Yeah, I agree with that. I said that yesterday that, these two are probably going to camp together, since Gaethje's taking on Oliveira, she's probably going to be working with him in camp. Throw in Usman. Like I said, you might throw in Aldridge and Torres. Maybe Torres, right? But, Aldridge will probably be in there helping out with the wrestling too. Yeah, see, hold on. Yeah, man. What else do we have? Do you think Carla can stand with Rose? No. That'll be the downfall. If she tries to stand with Rose, she will fail. Now, if she stays in the pocket, maybe in a good range where she can land a few punches, she might have success. But I almost forgot this. I said this yesterday. Sleight of mind, she could possibly stand with her if she stays completely out of range. Like Marina Moreau was doing, like Marina Moreau does as a wrestler, like you've seen as of recent, how Miranda did with Mazo. I know there's a different level, but if you stay completely out of range, Rose can't get to you, right? You can kind of use that as time to feint, use your own leg kicks and go on the outside and, circle. So you either got to stay completely out of range or you got to be in the chest. So it's all in how you can work your timing and speed. Like if Carla works on her timing, she can stay all the way out of range and then work. But I don't know if she has that type of striking like some of these other fighters do. So that's going to be a gamble. Her main thing needs to be in the pocket, in the phone booth where she can hit the body and stay on the ground. Slight of mine said Rose's reach is too long for Carla. No, it's not necessarily. Like I said, it's not necessarily if you know how to strike from their range. If you know how to fight, if you know how to enter from outside and stay completely outside, you'll be fine. Like I said, you can back up a long fighter as long as you're out of their punching range, and as long as you know how to do it. So, how do I think the fight's gonna play out realistically? Realistically, if you were to bet on everything you have on, I still say it's 50-50. I, I think it's really close, man. I do. I mean, I just can't really like say. I can't say at the moment. What would the betting odds be like? Plus what 2,000? I just really want to see a good fight too. Yeah, I just want to see a good fight at this point, man. Because I think that Rose is ready for the task. I think Carla's ready. Carla been ready. I think Carla's been ready now. That's why she was like, "Yo, let's do this. I want to sit out. No more fights. Let me get it." you know, I think Carla is going to be. We know this. It's not going to be as easy as it was before, but yeah, we know that Carla uh, is is really going to be in for a new and improved Rose. That's where her mindset is. Yeah, she said, if Carla wins, Whaley, Marina, and JJ have a shot at being champion. Yeah, and I think in order of Carla, who Carla can beat, I would go with Marina first. Then I would say Whaley. I think Carla has a chance to beat Whaley and Marina more than she has of Joanna. I don't see Carla beating Joanna. I think she has more of a chance of beating Whaley than she does Joanna. Mm, 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 mm. I'm telling you, though, Carla, man, she's gonna have to use some overhand rights in this fight, man. Like just to get in the inside, we gotta see overhand rights. Um, what kind of leg attack do you think she has? Like a good leg attack to station it to make Rose stationary. Like, can she catch up with the footwork now? Can she do that now? That's the question. I don't know. It was a question. Did y'all ever answer that question? Does she do better than Wei Lee in their rematch? Yes, sir. Oh, hold on. Laura said, "What are the odds that Carla dreams of slamming Rose like Andrade did?" Like she probably dreams that all the time, but realistically, she'd be like, "Nah." Sleight of Mind says, "Does Carla throw a lot of kicks, or at least enough for Rose?" That's why I was asking y'all. Like, do you think she can come up with just a simple leg attack? does she throw a lot of kicks? Like I'm saying, for this fight, she gonna have to throw something. Smack that back of the knee and that calf. I know Luanna did in their rematch. She was tearing that leg up. Oh man, we gotta do some round by rounds next week, y'all. We gotta watch Luanna versus Rose 2 again. We gotta watch Carla versus Rose. I'm gonna be doing round by rounds on these fights this week. So make sure y'all tune in. Because first of all, we're gonna do the inaugural strawweight fight. We're gonna do Carla Rose. We're gonna do a round by round on that. We're gonna do that probably Monday or Tuesday. Let's see. Rose versus Carla. Yeah, probably do that Monday. And what else? I gotta look at Carla versus Luanna again too. That massacre. Odds on Rose winning by Kimura. That's possible. Or like flying armbar like she did. Flying armbar. I mean, that was like years ago. Remember she did that flying armbar on old girl? Then that's when everybody thought she was going to be the next Ronda Rousey. They're like, oh man, she's going to start submitting everybody with the flying armbar. It was entertaining, though. I mean, let me see. I'm looking at this list. So, yeah, Monday we'll do Rose Carla 1. And maybe Tuesday we'll do Luanna versus Carla. We'll call that the strawweight championship massacre. That fight was And then I'm gonna do Rose Tisha Torres 1. No, 2. No, I already did that, didn't I? I'll do Carolina versus Rose sometime leading up to this fight. Yeah. BJ said I'll do Carla versus Marina. Yeah, that's a good fight. I just can't pick a winner in that one, man. I couldn't. I was like, Carla won, Marina won. It was a good fight, though. Carla owns a lot of these girls, though. Gordon says, I think Rose has more ways to win than Carla does. I think so. I think she does. But is she committed to these many different ways? The way Rose is committed to her? Maybe her 2-3 different ways. Excuse me. Side of mine said flying twister. Yeah, you do Carla versus Marina, man. That's a tough one to call. I gotta go back and watch that fight myself. I mean, that'll probably tell you a lot of things that Carla needs to do in that fight. Didn't Carla almost get submitted by Grasso? I can't remember. I know Grasso about stopped Carla, and Grasso took her foot off the gas. I know that was like one of the fights where I said, Grasso does not step on the gas. So I was like, yeah, Carla deserved it, man, because Grasso did not do what she should have done with her hands in that fight. She almost stopped Carla. So I said, what do you think happens with current Grasso versus current Carla, though? That's a good question. It all depends, like if she could make 115, I guess. I might still have to pick Carla against Grasso. I mean, that wasn't that long time ago. Yeah, I think I'll still go with Carla in that fight. It ain't like Grasso gonna stop her, because Grasso ain't stopped nobody in the UFC. Yeah, I'll still go with Carla to beat Alexa Grasso. Sorry. And y'all say I don't pick wrestlers? Shoot. Mark said, you're right, James. Carla didn't tap when most people would have. Gordon said, I think Rose can do what Tatiana did to Carla. Rose is versatile enough in her skill set. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Yeah, I got to do that fight too. Carla versus Tatiana. No, Tatiana was like a monster. Side of mine. So, what was the earlier discussion with Mazo? Just talking about her as far as not being cut and being re-signed to the UFC. Like, I don't think she was cut. I think media just pushed it out of they just based it off her Instagram. She didn't even say she got cut on her Instagram. Everybody said she got cut when they saw her Instagram. But her Instagram didn't say she got cut. And I said that she probably needs to be cut. Yeah. Ulysses said odds on Rose screaming I'm the best while Buffer's doing an introduction. Very high. Side of mine said I remember speaking to Macy a while ago about a Mazo fight. It's probably unlikely, but what do you think would happen in that fight? Who wins? I would go with Macy Barber. I'll go with Macy Barber. Why? Because perfect example. I'm glad you brought that up. That's sleight of mind. That's the perfect example I was talking about. Sabina Mazo is a 3rd-round fighter, and Macy Barber is a 3-round fighter. You know what that means, right? So, Macy's always dangerous. Sabina's always dangerous, but she's not really dangerous till it's time to play catch up. Macy, she'll try to get at you at any round. Like she has her slow rounds, but she gets stronger in the 3rd round. So I would go with Macy, probably by knockout. She might be fighting if she loses to Montana De La Rosa. I think Montana has a better chance of beating Macy Barber than Sabina Mazo does. Honestly. Yeah, Usman. Yeah, Usman working with Rose, but he can't turn Rose into Tatiana. Tatiana Suarez, she did that thing, man, because she's Tatiana. You know what I mean? Like Tatiana do that to anybody with that type of stature. Like Tatiana did that to Alexa Grasso in 1 round, and Tatiana would probably do that to Tisha Torres. And I give Tisha a lot of credit for her strength, but that's just Tatiana. What about Chicken Crazy? He said Sabina lose to everyone. Dang. You don't give her a chance against anybody? I got to get this thing charged up. Hold on. Robot Chicken said, I don't mind looking at the Colombian queen. Yeah, she's a nice looking woman, right? Yeah. I didn't come here for looks. I came for fights. You know what I mean? I came for beatdowns. That's what I come here for. James G said Ebos versus Suarez always intrigued me. Yeah, that's a good fight. I'll go with um I'll go with Suarez. If it ever, if it were to ever happen, I would have gone with Suarez. Suarez by mauling. Slight of mine said, I think Macy's getting better and better and very dangerous. She's young, and I think her inexperience is why she starts a bit late and isn't comfortable. Yeah, I agree with you on that, man, because, like, Macy is raw. Like, she a raw talent. She likes to fight, and that's a win right there. But some of her technical aspects aren't the best, right? Like, some of the choices that she make in a fight, they're not the best. But wanting to fight and wanting to fight everybody and just wanting to be in there, and you have power, that's that's already checked. We check those off. She's good to go. But when it comes to getting her skills right, that's what she really needs. Yeah, Sabina's slow, man. Sabina, she's pretty slow in her stand up, and somebody that big and that tall, she gets handled. Hold on. Whew, getting hot out my way. Man, where is my charger at? Let's see. Go ahead. It says, so you don't think that Rose will be looking at the Tatiana Carla fight? I think she will. And Usman is the key to making her. She'll surprise everywhere. Her new wrestler. I think she'll look at Joanna versus Carla. She'll watch what Joanna did to Carla more before she watches that. I mean, yeah, she'll probably watch it, but she probably gonna look at what Joanna did more, just to see how she can get off combinations. But she ain't as big and as strong as Tatiana, though. Let's see. Slight of mine said, do you think Tatiana wipes everyone in the division? There was a time that I thought so, when I was letting the fan in me, gas up Tatiana. But I am a Tatiana fan. No, like, she would have beat Andrade. Not a guarantee, but I think she would have beat Andrade. Who else would she have beat? Joanna would have been her toughest fight. You know why? Because Joanna's that striker and she's strong. And Joanna wouldn't have to worry about like big power punches for Suarez, because Suarez ain't gonna really do that. Man, that would have been a good fight. Yeah, but there would have been a time she would have wiped Rose out. She probably would have wiped Zhang Wei Li out. Her toughest fight would have been Joanna, in my opinion. Andrade, yeah, she probably would have been tough though. But I still see her beating Andrade, Rose, Wei Li, Joanna. That would have been the toughest style matchup, I think. Just because it's striker versus, wrestler. And like, the scrambles of Joanna, she gonna be getting back up. Joanna can fight at 125. So, her fighting Tatiana, that might be, a very, very competitive fight. So I'm looking forward to seeing involvement. Macy, her last fight, she was trying to find her new style. I think now she'll be more confident. Robot Chicken said Tatiana's gone. He said let it go. Sad to say, darn, Andrade can beat Carla. Andrade more so, I think. I mean, anybody can beat anybody, I think, if you're not on your game. And if you let their style take over. So, yeah, they could, but so can Carla. No, Dern, sorry. that fight can go either way. But yeah, Andrade can beat Carla. There's just no denying that. Carla beats Andrade. Well, excuse me, Carla can beat Dern. Yeah, that fight could go either way. I mean, off of experience, I would favor Carla more. Science mind said it wouldn't be wise for Rose to compare herself to Tatiana. She can compare better to Jay. Exactly. That's what I said. Like she would watch what JJ did to Carla before she would try to rock out on anything that Suarez did. you know? Running Reese, I don't think Dern can beat Carla. Yeah, if she don't have the experience. Yeah, that's what Robert Henry said. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Yep. Slidermine said JJ still beats Carla, I believe, and Rose beats JJ. Yeah, JJ always gonna beat Carla. I think that just comes down to style. It just really comes down to style to me. Same way she had fun with small fighters like Tisha Torres and Michelle Waterson, and as of recent and Andrade. That just goes to show you that's her style. Like handling Andrade the way she did, she'll do that to Carla. Believe me. You heard Robot Chicken. I know Monterey, what's his name? Monterey Jack. Like Monterey Jack, like that. What was that show? Rescue Rangers, Monterey Jack, Monterey Cheese. You heard Robot Chickens. If he feels it's spam, hey, I'm gonna let him take care of it. I mean, that's why Robot Chicken has a wrench. I trust his judgment. Slight mind saying JJ matches up well with anyone in the division. No one would wipe out JJ unless they would catch her on the worst day like Rose did in their first bout. Yeah. Outside of Rose and Wei Lee, it's really hard to say anybody else beats Joanna, huh? Because even then, Wei Lee didn't like clear cut beat Joanna. I mean, Rose holds 2 wins over her. Well, no. I'm talking strawweight now, because Valentina did beat her at 125. But we talk strawweight. Let's talk strawweight outside of Rose and Wei Lee. Yeah, stamina. Yeah, that's the first thing that came to my mind. Like, I always see the name and I always see him say Thug Rose. I always see Z-Man first, but then I looked at it and said Monterey. So I was like, Monterey Jack. I ain't even watched that show. Side of myself, I think Tatiana would have too much trouble with JJ. Tatiana would have too much trouble with JJ. I think it'd be back and forth. It's a tough fight. Tatiana at her best would struggle horrifically. Yeah, Tatiana would eat some jabs in that fight. I mean, Tatiana would get Joanna down several times, but how long will Joanna stay down? That's the question. Like, how much ground control time can she get on Joanna, right? How much ground control can she get on Joanna? I don't know. I can guarantee Joanna hitting Tatiana Suarez clean with jabs in every round of the fight. But I can't guarantee like ground control time from Suarez. Can't guarantee it. Taking her down, yeah, but how long you gonna keep her down? Man, I wish that fight would happen. Said Tatiana can handle JJ if it's 3-round bout, but if it's 5, then Tatiana's going to be in big trouble. I think it's still tough. 3 rounds or 5, because you got to remember JJ going to pick up the pace in the 3-round fight. You know, JJ going to work hard. But yeah, you say Tatiana can, you know, get into a groove and maul for 2 rounds and guarantee at least 2 rounds, she good to go. But you got to factor in, you know, Joanna's kicks behind the knee too, man. She gonna make it hard, boy. Yeah, Stamina says she'll get peppered. Yeah, she'll get peppered, win, lose, or draw. She gonna come out with lumps. Yeah, Slider Mind says she won't be able to keep JJ down. I don't. Oh man, yeah, like maybe not to like the 3rd round, but yeah, she won't keep her down. Renarini said that Joanna versus Andrade fight is still one of my favorites. Yeah, that's probably one of the best strawweight fights. James G said that JJ that fought Zhang would have beaten any strawweight that night except Whaley, I guess. Yeah, except Rose again. Tatiana's big and strong, but she struggles, and I don't think she has the stamina for JJ. Sampson said, well, actually, JJ beat Whaley if you watch closely, but everyone just saw her hematoma. Yeah, like I said, it could go on either way to me. I saw at a time where Joanna won it, but I saw the champion keeping her belt a couple times. So, I mean, if you say she won it, yeah, I can see it. I don't deny that. I don't deny that. Look, let's see. Gordon said maybe Rose can't execute the offensive wrestling of Tatiana, but she can utilize the defensive wrestling. Yeah, yeah. Stamina, I think he means she struggles, like she'll struggle on the feet with JJ. Maybe he's saying she'll struggle like at a range, you know. He's saying she's struggling in a JJ fight, but like not just struggling, period. Overexerting herself a little bit, maybe. Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. He said expends a lot of energy keeping opponents down. Yeah, you know, you use a lot of energy keeping them fighters down. And if you keep, you know, if you use a lot of energy trying to keep, you know, the little ones down, you know, Joanna's gonna be a big handful, boy. Keep that big girl down. George, he said, Whaley should fight Marina and JJ. Oh, Whaley versus Marina and JJ versus Nina. Where is Nina? Where is Nina Ansaroff? Nina Ansaroff coming back to the game. When she gonna give up that ranking? I've been like, yo, Lamos. If I was Lamos, I'd be like, yo, let me get that ranking, Nina. Let me get that ranking. So yeah, man, we got 4 fights on this card, right? UFC 274 for the women. Let me see. Fingers crossed. Hold on, let me pull up the card. Right, we got Melissa Gatto and Tracy Cortez is on this card. Then we got Lupe Benitez versus Ariane Carlosi. It's a mixture, man. We ain't got one type of fight, really. I mean, we got 2 strawweight fights, flyweight fight, and we got a featherweight fight. We got Basie Chason versus Norman Dumont. So it's interesting, man. It's gonna be a good night if all of these women come through. Robert here said good night, everybody. Yes, pushing 11 at night. I got on here late, so we'll catch you on the next one. Stamina said if Nina comes back and one more time, she better give up on 115. Make her come up the flyweight and fight G Rob just to annoy BJ. Yeah, that would be funny. Gordon said prediction for Molly versus Luanna. I'm gonna say Molly McCann if it stays standing because of the speed and her boxing and she pushes the fight. Luanna might actually make it interesting if she can fight in the clinch, her Muay Thai clinch, but she doesn't really commit to hitting hard. Luana's like a gamble sometimes, man. Like, she could make it interesting on the ground. Not Poliana, but Luanna Carolina could probably make it interesting on the ground. Like, Molly McCann doesn't really go to the ground at all, really, right? Not much of a ground fighter here, so Carolina could make it interesting. But if I had to predict, I would probably lean towards the high volume fighter that pushes the pace, and that's Molly McCann. Because I don't know if Luanna Carolina can counter. I don't know if she can counter or keep up. I'm looking at Molly right now. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with Molly McCann, really, though. I mean, I don't see, like, Luanna Carolina presenting anything like big fighters like Tatiana Suarez. Tatiana Suarez is like muscling, strength, taking her down. I don't think Carolina packs any of that, does she? Not in the same fashion, really. Ulysses said Cory McKinnon versus Reed. I'm going to lean towards Elise Reed in this one. I'm leaning towards Elise Reed in this fight. I like Cory McKinnon, believe me, but I went back and looked at that Kay Hansen fight, and that fight was close. And it was all about her IQ in that fight. She could have won a little bit more convincing, but she didn't use her striking to the best of her ability against Kay Hansen. I mean, Kay Hansen was working her on the ground. Go back and watch that fight, Kay Hansen versus Cory McKinnon. It was closer than you think. Now, Cory McKinnon got a lot of good things about her. Good ground game. She's strong, decent hands, but I think Elise is a better stand-up fighter, and she's going to keep it standing. A little bit longer, a little bit taller here. She's going to try to keep this thing standing. Don't let the flyweight debut fool you. Elise Reed is a pretty strong strawweight. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Molly McCann and Elise Reed in this one for these two fights. Off subject, how do you like the mixed rules one bouts alternate between Muay Thai and MMA? I kind of like that. It's okay. Yeah. I do like, getting the variety of a kickboxing match, and then a Muay Thai fight. I like that. Yeah, her layoff concerns me, and her IQ kind of concerns me too. Her being younger here, I don't think if Cortez tries to use lay and pray, I think she'll fail. I think Gato will be able to get it. Yeah, Molly McCann did put up a pretty spirited fight against Santos. I mean, she hit Santos with some good right hands in that fight. People don't really look at that, but like before she started gassing out and getting grappled on the ground, Molly McCann was boxing. Molly McCann landed some nice right hands on Taylor Santos. She cracked her a few times, a number of times. It's just that Taylor Santos' clinch work prevailed. And I don't think Luanna Carolina really has that. So I'm going to go with Molly in this one. I think it's really going to come down to who pushes the fight and the speed here. Lupi, I did pick Luanna to beat Lupi, but, Lupi gave me some scares in that fight with Luanna Carolina. What do y'all think? But anyway, y'all, it's getting late. Like I said, I jumped on here a little bit later, so I said let me chill on here for a bit, for a little bit, and we'll talk fights. But let's see, I'm gonna go with Molly McCann and Elise Reed for tomorrow. Fight start at 1 p.m. Eastern time, so it's an early card. Be prepared for that. But yeah, let me get up out of here, y'all. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Make sure y'all hit the thumbs up. Make sure y'all subscribe if you haven't. And if you missed this live stream, oh well, go back and comment in the chat later when you watched it. Like always, Combo Breaker 99, I'm out, y'all. I will catch y'all on Sunday or Monday. Yeah, that'll do. I'm out, y'all. Subscribe. Peace.